Morning and welcome to the Daily Tanya. Today is Monday, the 5th day of Shvat. Let's begin with tzedakah. Gedola tzedakah, shemekareves es hageula. Tzedakah brings Mashiach closer. So yesterday we learned about es is gering zu sein a Yid. It's easy to be a Jew. It's easy to live Jewish. And this is the way the Alter Rebbe begins the Tanya. That the Torah says, Ki korei v'lecha adava ma'oid beficho b'lvavcha la'asa'isai. It is very near to you, in your mouth, in your heart, that you may do it. And we explained why is it easy. Because what is required from us is the bottom line. The bottom line, the action. It's not so much the intention. It is the action that's the bottom line. And when the Torah says that we need to serve Hashem with all our hearts, some people are able to bring their hearts to a palpable feeling of love of Hashem. Some people are not able to do it. But even the people that are not able to do it, what they are able to, is to contemplate in their mind about the greatness of Hashem, to study Chassidus, to study the Torah, and to understand and to have a conviction and come to a conclusion in the mind that this is the right thing to do. And by nature, the mind controls the action, controls the heart. So it's not going to lead us in a feeling of a passionate feeling to a love of Hashem, but it's going to lead us to a conclusion to do the right thing. And this is true for most people. Now, the Rebbe says now in today's lesson that there is an exception to the rule. There is an exception to the rule. And that is sometimes a person becomes so wicked that he loses control. By nature, the mind controls the heart. You are not destined to do just whatever your heart desires. You have control. A normal human being can control his actions. But sometimes a person became so involved in the following his desires, his lusts, that he loses control, just like an addict. Person has an addiction. He doesn't really have control of what he does. He understands that what he does can ruin his life, but he just doesn't have any control. And that is the Rasha. So the question is, the Torah says that it's very near for us to serve Hashem. And here in this case, it's not. So the Alter Rebbe says, yes, indeed, that is true. In this case, a person who really got himself to this situation, that's not what the Torah is talking about. Now, it doesn't mean that this person has no hope, because ultimately every person can do teshuvah, but it takes much more for that person to break himself and to crush the evil within him to get to the point to do teshuvah and come around. So let's see inside what the Alter Rebbe says today. Says the Alter Rebbe, V'zeh kol ha'adam. What we said yesterday, that ultimately the kind of love that is required from us is the love that leads to action. And that is, bottom line, what the Torah wants from us. Zeh kol ha'adam. This Torah study and fulfilling the mitzvahs constitutes the whole purpose of man. Ki hayoim la'asoisam ksiv, shehayoim hu olam ha'maaseh davka. For it is written, I command you these mitzvahs, that you do them this day. This day referring specifically to this world of physical action. This world is physical action. It's not about the intention. As they say, the road to hell may be paved with good intentions. It's about the action. It's about the bottom line. What you do. Are we doing fulfilling Hashem's mitzvahs? So the Alter Rebbe's point is that the main objective in the commandment to love God lies not in the love itself, but in the practical and wholehearted fulfillment of the commandments that is motivated by this love. But the main thing in this world is action. And tomorrow, only tomorrow, meaning in the afterlife, is the time of reward as explained elsewhere. So that part of if we're talking about the love, the fiery love of Hashem, that's already part of the reward that we're getting in the world to come. In this world, however, the main thing is the action. So if we need, yes, we do need love, and as we explained many times, you do the mitzvahs, you have to do it with feelings, with passion, with understanding. But that's not the main thing. The main thing is the action that it leads to. Now, once you have the fact that we have the understanding in godliness, this can lead to the positive action. So basically it comes out that there are three types of people. There are people who control their heart, and there are people who control the mind, but not the heart. And there are people that the heart controls them. What does that mean? The tzaddik, the righteous person, he controls the heart. He controls his feelings. He doesn't have any feelings whatsoever outside of godly feelings. The Beinoni doesn't control his heart. He may have wrong feelings, but he controls his mind. And his mind is in his control, and therefore, through the mind, is able to control his actions. But a person who got to the point of complete Rasha, then the heart controls him, and the heart controls his mind in a way also. So this is what Alter Rebbe says, the mind, by virtue of its inherent nature, is master over the left part of the heart. The seat of the animal soul, whence comes one's mundane desires and evil thoughts. So if the evil thought comes in his heart, in the left part of his heart, his mind is still in control. He's in control of the heart. And over the mouth, and over the mouth and over the body's organs, the bodily organs, which are the instrument of action. So that's how this Beinoni person who is able to control, even though he does not have a passionate, fiery love to Hashem, but being that he has this understanding in his mind, is able to control his actions. However, there is an exception. An exception is someone who is truly wicked. He loses control of his actions. This is true of everyone except he who is truly wicked, that is, not the Beinoni who is considered like a Rasha, but one who is truly a Rasha. In his case, it cannot be said that his mind is master over the heart. On the contrary, our sages state that the wicked are under the control of the heart, but the heart is not under their control at all. They are unable to master the desire of the heart, for their mind has no active control over it. So this is the level of a person who he became like an addict to his heart's desires, so he no longer controls himself. This is a punishment for the enormity and potency of their sinfulness. So we're talking about a person who really, we're not talking about a person who once here and there, like most people. They're not, no one can say that we're fully doing the right thing. Here and there we make mistakes. So when we make mistakes, we can come around and do the right thing. But a person who is really became so involved in sinning that he loses control. And as for the problem that the Torah tells us that it's very near to us, says the Alter Rebbe, the Torah is not talking about such people, because those people are considered dead. The Torah is talking about living people. What does that mean? It says that tzaddikim, the righteous people, they have the world to come in their lifetime. But wicked people, even in this lifetime, they don't even have the life, because they're not in their own control. Basically, they built a monster that they cannot control. Said Alter Rebbe, the Torah does not speak of the dead, that is, those wicked ones who are considered dead even during their lifetime. Because these people, in truth, indeed, indeed, it is impossible for the wicked to begin to serve God, that is, to observe the mitzvahs out of a feeling of love and fear of God, without first repenting for their past. So first they need to realize that they are in a problem, that they're not in their own control. Just like first step of recovery of addictions. You need to admit that you're not in control. And what do? You have to break the klippas with a broken heart. First he has to do teshuvah. Shaber HaKlippos shemosach mavdil mechitza shel bazel amafsekas beinam lebein leavim shebashamayim. They have to do teshuvah in order to shatter the klippos that were created by their sins, which form a sundering curtain and an iron wall that interposes between them and the Father in heaven. And how is it done? It's by means of contriteness of heart and bitterness of soul over one's sin. As the Zohar interprets the verse, the sacrifices to the Almighty Elohim are a broken spirit, a broken and contrite heart. To mean that through one's breaking his heart, the unclean spirit of Sitr Achra, the Klippas, is broken. And this is the sacrifice that we offer to the divine name Elohim. Because in the Torah, it talks about offering the sacrifices to Hashem, it usually uses the name of God, Havaya, the Yud, the Hey, the Vav, the Hey, the Tetragrammaton. Reyach Nichoyach La Hashem. But here, we're talking about offering to Hashem with the name Elohim. That what kind of offering is to Elohim is a broken spirit. Ayin Shom Parshas Pinchas, Daf Reish Mem, Parshas Vayikra, Daf Ches, Daf Hey, Amud Aleph, Pirush of Moshe Zakas Shom. See in the Zohar, Parshas Pinchas, page 240, and on Parshas Vayikra, page 8, and page 5, and the commentary of Rabbi Moshe Zakas thereon. So that's the lesson of today. Yes, it's easy to be a Yid. It's not hard to be a Yid. But we have to realize that your actions are not isolated and not without consequences. Our actions cause our connection to Hashem. And when a person becomes under the rule, under the control of the evil, he also has a way out. It's not easy, but he has a way out, and that is through teshuvah. So this is the end of today's shir. We'll see you B'ezrat Hashem tomorrow. A wonderful day.